Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. In this video we are checking out Spider-Man Dying Wish. Spider-Man Dying Wish is a story that resulted in writer Dan Slott receiving death threats because some people hated the story that much. Other people absolutely loved it. It is the final story of Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, which had been running since 1963 and is comprised of issues 698, 699 and the double-sized issue 700. The writer, as I've already mentioned, was Dan Slott, and the artists were Richard Elson and Humberto Ramos. The story begins on the Raft, the maximum security prison for supervillains. Amongst the villains they've got there is Spider Slayer, Morbius, the Lizard and Dr. Octopus. Now, Dr. Octopus is not looking good. He's in pretty bad shape. All his years of being a supervillain and fighting superheroes, Spider-Man in particular, have finally taken its toll on him. And Dr. Octopus is dying. So next we switch to New York City and we see what Spidey's getting up to, and Spidey is swinging around, just being Spidey, he's enjoying himself, and then suddenly he gets a call for help and has to fight what turns out to be a wannabe supervillain. And here we see the police officer who apprehends the villain after Spidey's disabled him, wants Spidey to come down and make a statement at the station. Of course, Spidey's off and no, I don't think so, that's not what I do. But then as he swings off, he's saying to himself, the nerve of some people actually wanting me to come down to the station and make a statement. He's like, do they not know who I am? Anyway, he gets back home. He's getting changed into his civilian identity of Peter Parker. He's listening to his phone messages. And he's got a message from Mary Jane Watson, who, of course, is his big ex. And she's saying to him, don't forget we're supposed to be meeting up today. And he's also got a message from his boss, Max Modell, over at Horizon Labs, telling him he's got to come in for an evaluation. So first off, Pete, he's off to work. He's off to Horizon Labs. And he's doing his evaluation with his boss, Max Modell. And he's telling him that all the things he's invented for him so far, noise reduction, headphones, new motorcycle helmet, etc, etc, that's nothing. He's got huge ideas in mind that are going to make Horizon Lab millions. And then he's off to his lab and he's working away there. He's making himself some new web fluid, and while he's doing this, he's thinking to himself how amazing this was that he came up with this when he was still at school. He's kind of giving himself a big old pat on the back. He's a bit kind of full of himself today, is Mr. Parker, it has to be said. So he finishes at work and then he's off to MJ's club to meet MJ. And he meets MJ and he's kind of suggesting that maybe the two of them should get back together, and MJ's taken by surprise at this. She's like, are you serious? And she says, oh, well, we can't do this now, we're supposed to be going off to hospital to check on Aunt May. So she goes off to get her coat, and old Mr. Parker there, he's given a cheeky little wink to a couple of the other ladies in the club. So now we're at the hospital and we're checking up on Aunt May. She's got to walk around with a cane for a while. And they're checking up on her, see how she's doing. And suddenly, Mr. Parker, he gets a call on his Avengers ID card. which is telling him they need him down at the raft. So he says, sorry, I've got to go. Work calls, and Aunt May's partner Jay, he's not very impressed with this. Luckily, Mary Jane covers for him, so off he goes. He gets changed into his spider outfit, and he's off to the raft. And again, he's talking to himself, as he does always, and he's saying he still can't get used to the idea that he is actually one of the Avengers. He's thinking to himself he's never really been a team player, he's tended to operate on his own. And he's saying, I'm an Avenger, and he still can't get used to this idea that he, Spider-Man, is an Avenger. He's saying it sounds wrong, it's just weird, you know. So he gets over there, and some of his fellow Avengers are over there on the raft waiting to meet him. Namely, Captain America, Hawkeye, Spider-Woman, and Wolverine. And he says, you know, what's going on? What's up, Cap? And Captain America says to him, look, we just thought you should know one of your old enemies is dying, and he's not got long to go. He's going to go any time now. And Spidey knows it's Dr. Octopus. And Captain America says to him, look, he's been asking for you by your name, your real name. He's been asking for Peter Parker. So Spider-Man, he's like, okay, let's go and see him. Let's go and see what he wants. So they all march inside, and Spider-Man says, look, do you mind if I just do this on my own? No cameras, no other members of the Avengers backing me up, just me in there talking to Dr. Octopus. And they're fine, yep, sure, go ahead. So in he goes. It's just Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus. So Spidey says, well, you know, what is it? What do you want? Did you want to say something to me? And Dr. Octopus looks at him and says, Peter Parker. And Spidey pulls his mask off and says, yep, you're right, I am Peter Parker. And Dr. Octopus looks at him and says, no, I'm Peter Parker. And that's when we get the big twist of the story. Spider-Man looks down at him and says, not anymore. From now on, I am Peter Parker. I have all your memories. I know everything you know. I have your life. And you, Peter Parker, are now stuck in the body of Dr. Octopus, and you're going to die anytime soon. Somehow, prior to this, Dr. Octopus has managed to switch bodies with Spider-Man. So, Dr. Octopus is now in Peter Parker's body. Dr. Octopus now knows all of Spider-Man's memories, he knows all of his friends, he knows all of his family. Dr. Octopus is now Spider-Man. While Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is now trapped in the body of Dr. Octopus, who has hours left to live. And as Dr. Octopus is telling him, I know all your secrets, I know everything about you, Peter Parker, in Dr. Octopus's body, kind of has a sort of heart attack or something, and the alarms all go off. The medical team come rushing in, and Dr. Octopus, now as Spider-Man, just tells them, I'll leave you to it, I'll let you get on with it, and he just marches out. And the other Avengers there are waiting for him, and you know, they're saying, are you going to be okay? Wolverine's saying, what did you do? Did you kill him? And Spider-Man says, no, I just said, you know, my goodbyes to him, and apparently didn't take it very well. And Captain America asks him, Spidey, are you going to be okay? And Spider-Man, who of course as we now know is in fact Dr. Octopus, just says, you know what, I'm not going to give it another thought. To be honest, I've got better things to do with the rest of my life. And that is the end of the first part. That is the end of Dying Wish, the prologue. So we now know somewhere along the line, sometime before this story, Dr. Octopus has managed to switch bodies with Peter Parker. Dr. Octopus is now Spider-Man, and Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is now trapped in the dying body of Dr. Octopus and has maybe hours, maybe minutes left to live. And that's where they finish the first part. Well, what a way to end part 1. Now if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up below. If you don't want to miss out on whatever else I get up to, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know what happens in the story, then check out the next video. And hopefully I will see you for part 2.